Good afternoon, children. In my previous video, I had completed the topic cell division by meiosis, and today we will start with our new lesson, number 8, digestion and absorption. To begin the lesson, let us first revise with some basic concepts like energy, food, nutrition, calorie, etc. Energy, as we know, children, is one of the basic needs of all living beings to continue the life processes. And same energy we derive in the form of food, which is a collection of chemicals that are taken by the organisms. And the same food helps us to grow, repair, and replace the body cells, etc. When we talk of nutrition, this nutrition can be called as the sum total of all activities which are associated with obtaining food by the living beings. Activities like ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion or defecation. To explain them simply, ingestion means a process of taking in food from outside into the alimentary canal through the mouth. Digestion means the process of breaking down complex, insoluble organic components of food into soluble molecules, and this is brought by the action of digestive juices. Absorption. This is a process by which simple molecules of the digested food they are absorbed by the intestinal wall and they are transported to the blood. Coming to the fourth term, that is assimilation. This is a process of utilization, that means to use the absorbed nutrients by the body cells for energy and synthesis, that is making of new protoplasm for growth and repair. Talking about egestion or defecation, it is getting rid of undigested solid food matter. Alright, so these terms we have already done previously, as I said. Coming next are terms like calorific value. Then what is the difference between a calorie or a joule or kilocalorie? Now let us see calorific value. Food, as we know, children, it is the food energy. It is the amount of energy obtained by an individual from nutrients, right? And the same we can say are the nutrients of the food which are available through cellular respiration. So the scientific measurement of food energy, it is made in the terms of calorie or joules. All right. 1 calorie. How much is 1 calorie like? Suppose you have a vessel and you take 1 gram of water, right? So calorie is the amount of heat required to raise temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree centigrade. So here just imagine 1 gram of water is a very little amount, and if you take it at a given temperature, then calorie is the heat to be provided to raise the temperature by only 1 degree centigrade. Same if you talk about kilocalorie. So kilocalorie, the amount of water should be around 1 kilogram. This was 1 gram and this is 1 kilogram. The amount of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree centigrade, right? So that means this is the kilocalorie, a higher quantity of measurement. And what is the need to use the term kilocalorie when we already have the word calorie? The reason is that calorie is too small to measure, and especially when we talk of let's say physiologists, dietitians, etc., they use the word kilocalorie, right, which is equivalent to, we can say 1000 calories, they make up 1 kilocalorie, which is equivalent to 4.184 kilojoules. All right. Then we can say calorific value, it's to be studied under 2 heads. First is gross energy value or gross calorific value, and the other is physiological calorific value. Now calorie you have understood, children, the amount of energy here required to raise 1 degree of the given quantity of water. And also children, let me tell you here that WHO, that is the World Health Organization, and other leading international organizations, right, they officially recommend the term kilojoules. This is the unit officially recommended by the WHO. So this is the same quantity as 1 kilocalorie or 1000 calories. So what is gross energy value? This is the amount of heat liberated from combustion, complete combustion, combustion means burning, of 1 gram food in a bomb calorimeter. What is this? This is a closed metal chamber filled with oxygen. That is, you can imagine, if this is a bomb calorimeter, a closed chamber, metal chamber, and this is filled with oxygen, and here you have 1 gram food, and you are completely burning it or carrying on combustion, then how much of heat is liberated? This is called as gross energy value or gross calorific value. So in your syllabus, you have the calories of 3 food items like carbohydrates, these classes of food. If you burn it 1 gram in the bomb calorimeter, we get 4.1 kilocalorie per gram. That means 1 gram gives you so much kilocalories. When it comes to proteins, then 1 gram being burnt in bomb calorimeter gives you 5.65 kilocalories per gram. And fats, they give you the highest of all of these, 9.45 kilocalories per gram. So I hope this first term is clear, children, that this was the actual amount of energy that is obtained into the metal device, that is bomb calorimeter, when you're burning 1 gram separately, and how much energy you are calculating. Talking about physiological calorific value. Physiological means inside a living system. Here you're counting the calorie value in a non-living machine. But here you're talking the amount of energy, that is actual amount liberated from the combustion of 1 gram of food in the body. There is no machine to measure, but you're counting the amount of energy production in the living body. So carbohydrates, let us compare. It is slightly different, and all the three, they are slightly lesser. So the actual amount in the body is 4 kilocalories per gram instead of 4.1. Then the proteins, they give you 4 kilocalorie per gram, which is here it's estimated 5.65. In the body gives only 4. And then what is 9.45 in a bomb calorimeter? In the body, actually, it's only 9. So learn this only, children, because the chapter you're going to start digestion and absorption in the body. So if you're asked what is the calorie value of the substance of food like 1 gram of protein or fat or carbohydrate, then don't be confused that which should I write. If you want separately to be more precise and clear, the concepts should be clearly given, that here it is so much and in the body it is so much. And if there's a multiple choice tick mark question, and then in that you will go by these values, because the same is the actual amount in a living body. Moving further, I hope this page is clear, children. This page I have revised about the basic concepts on nutrition, calorie, then kilocalorie and kilojoule, and the gross value or gross calorific value and physiological calorific value. Moving to some more terms. Again, as I said, today is the introductory class on this topic. So we'll be revising the basic concepts that we already know. Let us go with terms like dentition, or we can talk about the terms one by one. Types of dentition. We are going to talk the first term, talk about this thecodont. I like to show this first into a diagram at page number 16.4. Look at this. When we talk about teeth in our body, we have a lower jaw and we have bony sockets into which the teeth are embedded. Similarly, we have an upper jaw along which the teeth are embedded again here. So what is thecodont? This is a term, right, for teeth that are embedded in pits or depressions in the jaw bones. When it is the upper jaw, right, we call them as maxillae. And when it is the lower jaw, they are called as mandibles. These pits or depressions, we call them as sockets or alveoli. Once again, Let's understand the term before we move to the other. Thecodont teeth, they are those type of teeth which are embedded in pits of jaw bones. Maxillae, it is the upper jaw, and mandibles in the lower jaw. And the pits, they are called sockets or alveoli. So this is the upper and lower jaw. Just to distinguish them, this is how the teeth, one side I have given you, because later we'll talk of dental formula. Coming to the second term is diphyodont. Another word for the dentition, diphyodont. Di means two, right? So here two means there are, these teeth are those types which are formed in two sets. The first set of teeth is called as milk or temporary or deciduous teeth, whereas the second set is called as the permanent teeth. The permanent teeth, they replace the temporary teeth after a given amount of years. For example, in human beings, the milk teeth, they start emerging at a stage of 6 months and they continue to do so. The eruption is completed by the age of 2 years. Then these are shed after 6 years and they are completely replaced by the permanent teeth by the age of 12 years. So when a child is reached the threshold of 12 years, he or she has completely replaced the milk teeth and now has the permanent teeth. At this time, the teeth number is 28, right? So what is missing here? Here, the last set of molars is missing. I'll just show you. Here, if we talk about the types of teeth, children, the first 4 teeth, we call them as incisors, right? The side ones, that is this pointed one, this one is the canine. So if we talk how many canine? 1 and 2. Then comes the broad ones like premolars. These two. So here is 2 and this side is 2. This comes up to 4 premolars and 6 molars. So that means 1, 2, 3 and 3 this side. So in each jaw we have 6 molars, 4 premolars, 2 canines and 4 incisors. But when a child is of 12 years, then the last of this molar is missing in each jaw. That means 2 teeth in the upper jaw and 2 of the lower jaw, they are missing. So 32 teeth that should be in total, minus 4 makes it 28. And that is the reason why the permanent teeth in a child of 12 years of age are only 28, because the last molars, they are missing because they will be added at a stage of around 18 years or later. Then in the milk teeth or the deciduous teeth, the premolars are absent. That is a note I have written, that in a child below 12 years of age, the premolars are absent. Alright, this is just to remember. Coming to the third type. So I hope these two terms are clear, children. Thecodont means the embedded teeth in sockets. Diphyodont, I told you, when the teeth are born in 2 sets, the milk and permanent. Coming to heterodont. Hetero means different and dont means teeth. So hetero means different and dont means teeth. So that means when the teeth are of different shapes, structures, sizes and functions, we call them as heterodont teeth. Like the human teeth, they are of different shapes to carry out different functions. And there are 4 types of teeth. Just now I showed you. Incisors, they are the cutting and chopping ones, right? They're sharp. Just now you saw them. These are the incisors. They are sharp and cutting and chopping ones. Then we have the canines, these pointed ones. Alright. The canines are ripping and shredding ones because they are sharp. The edges are sharp and they are used to tear away or rip or let's say shred away. Premolars, the set of next to 1, 2 on each side. Premolars are the crushing and grinding teeth. Whereas molars, the last set of 3 on each side of the jaw, these are also required for crushing and grinding. So premolars are absent in milk dentition, I told you. They occur only in the permanent teeth, right? So the last molars, we call them as the wisdom teeth. So what are wisdom teeth, children? The last of each molar. So 2 on the upper and 2 on the lower, which is acquired after age of 18 years. This is only a myth, children. There's no scientific fact to say that it will be only after 18 years. So wisdom teeth usually develops after 18 years. Not always. So there is no rule to it. So that is all about the terms required in the dentition, that is thecodont, diphyodont and heterodont. Let us move to the dental formula. Dental formula represents the number of teeth in each half of upper and lower jaw. Like this is the upper jaw. This side which I have drawn is the upper jaw, and the same which is not drawn is the lower jaw. But in upper jaw also, if you bring it to half, right, then the number present on each side will be the dental formula of a human being or any animal. So in this case, instead of writing 4 incisors, we will write only 2 because 2 is the half of 4. 2 canines are the total, but we'll write only 1. Premolars are 4, but we'll write only 2. And molars, including the wisdom, they will be 6 on the total, but here we'll write 3. So what is dental formula? The number of teeth falling in this half of the jaw, that is upper or the lower, they will be the same in number. So temporary, it is 2102. Why it is 0? Because incisors mean 2, canine 1, premolars I said is absent, and molars will be 2 because the wisdom is absent, right? So this is into 2, that means completing it or doubling it up. If you multiply it by 2, then only the number completes in the upper jaw. Alright, and similarly the lower ones again into 2. So total teeth in a temporary denture would be 20. But when it's completed, see, now here premolars are also present, that is 0 becomes 2, and the molars from 2 become 3 each. So that makes it to 32. Also a note to be made is that incisors and canines, they are the teeth with single root, and premolars and molars are the teeth with double roots. I'll just show you. Single and double roots, they mean this. This is a single root as you can see, but this is a double root. So 1 and 2. Alright, so as I said, incisors and canines, this is an incisor, children, as it's seen, LS of incisor, and this is a molar. So this is what we mean by single and double root. Then coming to some more terms, moving further with our terminology section, is a term what we call as gullet. The term gullet means opening of esophagus or food pipe. Esophagus, children, we also call it as the food pipe. So the opening of the same into the alimentary canal is called gullet. Whereas the opening of larynx or trachea, it is called as glottis. This I hope you remember. The epiglottis is the lid that covers it. We'll talk about this later with the diagram. Just now I'm giving you the terms. Bolus is a word that we use for well-chewed food which is made into a ball-like structure for swallowing. So remember, children, every time you are taking a bite of food, you are finally mixing it with saliva and making into ball kind of structure to be swallowed. The same ball is what we call as bolus. What is swallowing? The next term. Swallowing is also called as deglutition. It is the movement of a bolus from oral cavity, that is a mouth cavity, to the stomach, passing through the pharynx and esophagus. What is pharynx, children? It is the common area for food and air. So I'll show you once again the diagram here. If we talk about the digestive system, then pharynx is the small region where food and air both are present. But after this, the two roads, they become different. One becomes the food pipe, which is going to the stomach, and the other becomes the windpipe or the trachea. So here, once again, swallowing is the movement of bolus from the oral cavity to the stomach, passing through the pharynx and esophagus. The process of swallowing involves 3 stages. Number 1 is voluntary. Voluntary means by our will or choice. The second is pharyngeal stage. That means the stage when the food has to cross through the pharynx. And the third is the esophageal or the stage in the food pipe. So voluntary stage is by the action of tongue muscles. Bolus is forced from the oral cavity into pharynx. Pharyngeal state is the involuntary contraction. Here you can't choose because this is not under our control, and this is the involuntary contraction of pharyngeal muscles which push the bolus into esophagus. And esophageal stage is when the bolus travels through esophagus due to peristalsis, that is a wave of contraction and relaxation, into the esophageal wall. Another note, swallowing is under nervous control, and during swallowing the glottis remains closed. What is glottis, children? The opening to the larynx or trachea. This is very interesting to know that when anyone is swallowing, the breathing for that moment stops. That is both the things we cannot do together, children. You cannot swallow and breathe together. You can try and check it out, because during swallowing the entry to the larynx or the trachea by glottis is closed.